All right, back. Walt Williams, Jerry Bowyer, Jared Bernstein. Hey, Walt Williams, speaking of energy and all the rest of that stuff, everybody in Washington now is blaming speculators for the high price of oil and other energy sources. Speculators, Walt. I'm not exactly sure who the hell these speculators are, but the CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, is doing an investigation. So far they found nothing. My guess is they'll always find that. Why is it that people in Washington always want to blame speculators or investors when prices go up, for example, in the energy sector?
Well, I think one of the main reasons is that they want to find scapegoats for the problems that they create. They're severe supply problems, as you know, and they are the cause. The Congress is the cause of the supply problem. But you know, it's very interesting that Congress has called hearings, called oil company CEOs before their committees. They run investigations one after another, and they find nothing wrong. But see, the problem is that what makes the news are these hearings. But when the FTC or other government agency actually does a study to find out whether the business people are guilty of these charges, it's hidden away on page 50 in the newspaper, or is not discussed at all, because they never find anything. And by the way, speculators perform a very, very valuable social function that's misunderstood by these quacks in Washington. What they do, speculators allocate resources over time, and that is, when you're doing something now, you ought to pay attention to its effects on the future.
Hey, Jared Bernstein, these are, Walt is describing all your friends. Why don't they understand that markets work? Why don't they understand that speculators, a.k.a. investors, are absolutely essential to the free workings of an efficient marketplace?
Believe it or not, a lot of my friends are economists, and they're pretty much with Walt and where I am on this.
I'm talking about those guys up on Capitol Hill that you pal around with.
So, you know, look, I mean, the CFTC, and if you read what they're talking about, the CFTC is saying really one thing, that we're on the case, we're taking a look at this. But I don't think they're going to find much. But
it's political showmanship, Jared. You know it and I know it. It's all a bunch of crap. It's garbage.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I do think there is one thing to pay attention. I agree with everything everyone said so far, but there's one thing to pay attention to. We now have pension funds and hedge funds much more into the oil future markets than we've ever had before.
Is that bad? Jerry Bowyer, is that bad?
Not
Come on in here.
But it's worth looking at.
Jerry Bowyer, it's bad enough the Rockefeller, the little tree-hugging, latte-sipping Rockefellers, the descendants, want ExxonMobil to change their whole business game plan when cajillions of people are in pension plans, Jerry, invested in Mobil. Now Jared wants to take the pension plans out of the market.
I want to take a look at it. I just want to bring some sunlight. Okay. You said the same thing about mortgage markets.
Once they've taken a look at it, I hope they don't do anything, because I like pension plans to be able to hedge their risk. You know, my mom's in a pension plan. Yeah. My dad's in a pension plan. I want them to be able to hedge some of their risk. And by the way, that's what futures markets do.
That's right.
Futures markets are just risk spreaders. They're like insurance companies, and blaming them for this stuff is like blaming the insurance companies for hurricanes.
I totally agree.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
We got to get out.
Jerry, small point. I totally agree, but the thing is, you guys all said the same thing about the housing market. I sat here and listened to you. All I'm saying is you got to bring in some sunlight and disinfectant to make sure that there isn't this manipulation.
Pension plans could invest in the housing market, too.
The thing is, in a capitalist economy, Jared, I hate to tell you this, it is possible to fail. It's not always about succeeding. Sometimes we fail. Go ahead, Larry.
And when you fail to regulate...
I'm giving pure Walt Williams and Friedrich Hayek here. Go ahead, Walt.
I think that people fail to recognize that the problems that we're having in the housing market are a direct result of government.
Right.
Oh, geez.
Community reinvestment.
I want to give you the last word, Jerry.
All right.
It is a wonder to me, Jerry, that stocks are up, they're up 10–15% since the lows. They're really up about 80% since the lows of 2002. Given all this stuff swirling about, and politicians going left liberal and anti-market once again like the 70s, Jerry, how is it possible stocks are succeeding?
Because markets are more agile than politicians, and even though the politicians do incredibly stupid things, we can figure out ways to get around them.
and you want to give them more power over our lives.
You're just whistling past the housing that you whistled past the housing bubble, you whistled past the IT bubble. I don't want to see you whistle past the commodity bubble. I'm trying to help you here. I'm the friend of capitalism here.
Jerry Bowyer, did the IT bubble destroy
You're from the government and you're here to help me.
Jerry, did the IT bubble destroy America?
No, and by the way, I called it a bubble early and I was bearish in 2000. But yeah, I mean, look, it happens.
It led to a recession.
Thanks for protecting me from myself, Jared. I'll do okay.
All right, we're going to give Jerry some time off. He deserves it. Back to his beautiful family. Walt Williams, Jared Bernstein, going to hang out. We got some more work to do.